My dear friends, today I want to share with you a truth that can transform the way we live, love, and grow. Silent patience, unlimited gain. In a world where everything screams for instant results, instant food, instant fame, instant success, patience has become one of the rarest virtues. Yet it is the one that yields the greatest rewards. Let me begin with a simple thought. A seed never complains about the darkness of the soil. It silently grows roots before it sees the light. How powerful is that? Most people give up during the dark phase, the period when nothing seems to be working. But remember, even when nothing seems to be happening on the surface, something deep is growing underneath. Silent patience is not weakness. It's the quiet strength that builds empires, shapes character, and crafts destiny. Patience is often misunderstood in today's fast-paced world. Many people mistake it for passivity or weakness, as if waiting calmly means one lacks ambition or drive. But in truth, patience is one of the highest forms of strength. It's a discipline of the mind and heart that requires courage, restraint, and deep trust. It's easy to react when things don't go our way. It's easy to complain when life slows down or takes an unexpected turn. But it takes real strength to stay composed, to keep faith alive, and to continue working silently without losing hope. Patience is not about standing still. It's about standing strong while everything around you tests your resolve. In moments of challenge, the most powerful response is often silence. The kind of silence that doesn't come from defeat, but from maturity. It's the silence of someone who knows that storms eventually pass, and that reacting impulsively will only make the situation worse. When you practice silent patience, you shift your focus from the chaos outside to the calm within. This inner stillness becomes your armor against anxiety and frustration. It allows you to see clearly, make wiser decisions, and conserve your energy for what truly matters. The world respects those who can stay balanced when others are losing control. Imagine a tree during a heavy storm. The wind shakes its branches, rain beats against its leaves, and yet it doesn't fight back. It bends, it sways, but it doesn't break. Its strength lies not in resistance, but in endurance. That's what patience looks like. A quiet resilience that doesn't crumble under pressure. When you cultivate this mindset, you begin to handle life differently. You stop rushing outcomes, you stop forcing solutions, and you start trusting the process. Because true strength isn't measured by how loud or fast you move, it's measured by how gracefully you endure. Patience also teaches emotional intelligence. It allows you to respond instead of react, to observe instead of judge. When you rush, you often miss the lessons hidden in the delay. But when you slow down, when you breathe and allow time to do its work, clarity follows. Many great leaders, thinkers, and creators didn't reach success by moving fast. They reached it by moving steadily. They understood that consistency is more powerful than speed, and that every season has its purpose. Just like a farmer doesn't harvest the same day he plants, you too must respect the timing of growth. Silent patience also reflects self-confidence. It shows that you don't need constant validation or immediate results to know your worth. You trust your effort, your path, and the timing of your destiny. You understand that the universe doesn't operate on your schedule, and that's okay. Every delay may be a divine redirection. Every setback a silent preparation. When you carry patience with confidence, you radiate peace instead of panic. People feel that calm energy and are drawn to it because patience is magnetic. It speaks of wisdom and inner stability. In relationships, patience becomes a sign of love and understanding. It allows space for others to grow, for mistakes to be corrected, and for wounds to heal. In personal goals, patience keeps you steady through failure and disappointment. It reminds you that just because success hasn't arrived yet, doesn't mean it never will. The best things in life are often those that take time. Deep trust, true happiness, inner peace, and lasting success. They don't come from rushing, they come from refining. So when life slows you down, don't see it as punishment, see it as training. Every moment that challenges your patience is actually strengthening your spirit. Every delay is teaching you something about endurance, timing, and self-control. You're being shaped in silence, polished through waiting, and prepared for something greater than you can imagine. Silent patience, then, is not the absence of power, it's the ultimate expression of it. It's the strength to keep faith alive, even when the world tells you to give up. And when you master it, you don't just survive the storm, you rise above it, stronger, wiser, and more peaceful than ever before. Growth is one of the most fascinating yet misunderstood processes in life. People often focus only on visible progress, the achievements, the recognition, the milestones others can see. But real growth begins long before that moment of visibility. It starts quietly, in the unseen spaces of effort, patience, and persistence. The greatest transformations happen not when the world is watching, but when no one notices. It is in the hidden moments of struggle, discipline, and consistency that we are truly evolving. The seed does not announce its growth while it's under the soil. It simply does the work, nourished by faith that one day it will break through the surface and reach the light. When you are in that unseen stage of your journey, it can feel discouraging. You work hard, yet results seem distant. You stay committed, but progress appears invisible. That's the test of faith, the space where most people give up. They mistake silence for stagnation, when in reality, that's where all the magic happens. The unseen moments are where your character takes shape, where your resilience strengthens, and where your foundation is built. Just because you can't see the progress doesn't mean it isn't happening. Growth often hides itself to test your belief in the process. The ones who keep going, even when nothing seems to change, are the ones who eventually experience extraordinary breakthroughs. Think of an artist who spends hours perfecting their craft in solitude. Their early work might not attract attention, their efforts might go unnoticed, but they continue. They sketch, they paint, they fail, and they try again. Each invisible hour of effort is an investment in mastery. Then one day, people call them talented or gifted, unaware of the countless silent hours that built that brilliance. Growth is not sudden, it's gradual. And that gradual process happens away from the spotlight. The same applies to you. Every late night you spend learning, every quiet morning you dedicate to self-improvement, every sacrifice you make without applause, all of it is shaping you into someone far more capable than you were yesterday. In the unseen moments, the most valuable growth occurs internally. You learn to manage your emotions, strengthen your patience, refine your discipline, and align your mindset with your goals. These qualities don't develop through comfort. They develop through silence and perseverance. When you feel ignored or unseen, don't see it as failure. See it as your preparation season. The tree doesn't rush to sprout its leaves. It focuses first on its roots. And only when the roots are strong enough to support the growth above does it rise confidently toward the sky. The unseen effort is the foundation that allows the visible success to stand tall. Every person who has achieved greatness went through a hidden phase where nobody understood their vision. People questioned them, doubted their direction, or even dismissed their dreams. Yet they continued in silence, working consistently, trusting the process even when progress wasn't visible. That's what sets extraordinary individuals apart. They respect the invisible stage. They understand that patience during the unseen period determines the magnitude of what's to come. The more time spent strengthening the foundation, the higher the structure can rise. The unseen phase also purifies your intentions. When no one is watching, you discover whether your passion is genuine or just for attention. True growth requires authenticity. It asks, will you still work this hard if no one praises you? If the answer is yes, then you are growing in the right direction. Because real growth doesn't depend on applause, It depends on alignment with purpose. When you work quietly for the right reasons, success naturally follows. The world may not notice your journey right now, but one day they will see the outcome and call it sudden success. What they won't realize is that your sudden success took years of unseen effort. Every moment of silence is an opportunity to build something meaningful. The darkness that hides your progress today is preparing you for the light of tomorrow. So don't lose faith when no one notices your effort. Keep nurturing your dream like a seed buried beneath the soil. It may be hidden for a while, but when it finally breaks through, it will be unstoppable. The unseen moments are not wasted. They are the birthplace of greatness. Faith is the anchor that holds us steady when life seems uncertain. And frustration is the storm that tries to shake it loose. The gap between where we are and where we want to be often feels unbearable. And in that space, frustration becomes our natural reaction. We want things to move faster, people to change sooner, and results to come instantly. Yet, the most profound growth happens when we learn to choose faith over frustration. It is in those quiet, uncomfortable pauses of life that our patience is tested and our character is defined. Choosing faith doesn't mean ignoring the challenges. It means trusting that those challenges have a purpose beyond what we can see right now. When life delays something you deeply desire, your mind starts questioning everything. Your efforts, your plans, even your work. You begin to wonder if all the hard work is in vain, if destiny has forgotten your name. That's where frustration takes root. It clouds your vision and drains your motivation. But faith, on the other hand, clears that fog. It whispers, keep going. Something greater is forming behind the scenes. Faith reminds you that just because you don't see progress doesn't mean it isn't happening. The universe is never idle. It's rearranging pieces, aligning paths, and preparing opportunities that match your readiness, not just your wishes. Choosing faith over frustration requires deep emotional maturity. It's the ability to stay calm even when everything feels chaotic. It's understanding that not every delay is a denial. Some delays are divine. They're placed in your path not to punish you, but to prepare you. Sometimes what you want isn't ready for you yet, or perhaps you're not ready for it. Life's timing is not random. There is a rhythm to it, a wisdom that knows exactly when to open the door. Faith allows you to trust that rhythm, while frustration tries to force the door open too soon. And when we force things before their time, we often end up breaking what could have been beautiful. Faith also transforms your mindset. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin to ask, what is this trying to teach me? That simple shift replaces bitterness with gratitude and turns pain into purpose. Every challenge becomes a classroom, every delay a lesson in trust. You start realizing that growth is not just about achieving goals, it's about becoming someone who can handle them with grace. Without faith, you're constantly at war with uncertainty. With faith, you make peace with the process. You no longer need to control every outcome. You simply give your best and let life unfold the rest. Frustration drains your energy, while faith restores it. When you're frustrated, you resist reality. You fight what is. But when you choose faith, you flow with it. You start to see how even your setbacks have meaning. Maybe that rejection redirected you to a better opportunity. Maybe that failure taught you resilience. Maybe that silence was preparing you for a louder victory later. Life is not happening against you. It's happening for you. Faith allows you to see the bigger picture even when the current piece doesn't make sense. There's also something profoundly peaceful about surrendering through faith. It doesn't mean giving up. It means giving into trust. It's saying, I've done my part, and now I'll let time and destiny do theirs. It's learning to breathe through uncertainty, to stay centered when everything else is shifting. People who live with faith radiate calmness. They move through life with quiet confidence because they know that every delay, every detour, every difficulty is part of a greater design. When frustration takes over, it shrinks your vision and makes you reactive. You start rushing decisions, forcing outcomes, and losing your balance. But faith expands your vision. It allows you to see beyond temporary discomfort and focus on long-term fulfillment. It gives you patience, power, and perspective. It teaches you that waiting with faith is not wasting time, it's trusting timing. The path you're walking may seem slow, but that doesn't mean you're not moving. Sometimes the greatest progress happens when you stop fighting and start trusting. Choosing faith over frustration doesn't just change your circumstances, it changes you. And when you change, everything around you begins to align. Comparison is one of the most silent destroyers of peace and progress. It creeps into the mind subtly, making us question our worth, our pace, and even our purpose. In a world where everything is visible, every success, every achievement, every milestone, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing your journey with someone else's. But the truth is, comparison never inspires, it only diminishes. When you compare, you shift your focus from growth to jealousy, from purpose to pressure. You start measuring your progress with someone else's ruler, forgetting that every path is uniquely designed and every timeline unfolds differently. Patience, on the other hand, restores that balance. It reminds you that your journey is sacred, that your growth has its own rhythm, and that nothing meaningful blooms before its season. When you compare yourself to others, you rob yourself of joy. You look at their achievements and feel like you're behind, not realizing that they too went through unseen struggles, silent battles, and years of preparation that you may not know about. Social media, in particular, magnifies this illusion. You see the highlight reel of someone's life and mistake it for their entire story. You see their success, but not their sleepless nights, their smile, but not their scars. Patience helps you detach from that illusion. It reminds you that what's meant for you cannot miss you, no matter how delayed it seems. Instead of chasing someone else's path, patience teaches you to water your own roots, to grow steadily and silently until your time comes to shine. Each person's journey is written with different challenges and opportunities. The flower doesn't compete with the one next to it. It simply blooms in its own time. The sun doesn't rush to rise. It appears when the world is ready for light. Similarly, when you learn to trust your process, you stop feeling threatened by the success of others. Patience builds self-assurance. It gives you the strength to stay grounded, knowing that even if your moment hasn't arrived yet, it's on its way. The key is to keep nurturing your growth with consistency and faith instead of panic and comparison. True success is not about being ahead of others, it's about being better than you were yesterday. Comparison makes you restless. It pushes you into a race you never signed up for and drains the joy from your efforts. Patience, however, teaches you to breathe and appreciate where you are. It gives you the emotional maturity to understand that progress is not always visible, but it's always happening. Every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals. When you stop comparing, you start noticing the beauty of your own growth. You begin to celebrate progress instead of perfection, and you become more grateful for the journey instead of obsessed with the destination. Comparison also blinds you to your unique strengths. When you're too busy looking at someone else's path, you neglect the gifts and talents within you. Patience redirects that attention inward. It allows you to refine your abilities, build your character, and prepare for opportunities that align with who you are, not who you're trying to imitate. When you act out of comparison, you often settle for imitation. When you act with patience, you create authenticity. And authenticity always attracts abundance. The world doesn't need another version of someone else. It needs the best version of you. The moment you embrace patience, you release the pressure of timing. You stop rushing outcomes just because someone else achieved them first. You realize that life is not a race, it's a rhythm. Each person dances to their own tempo, and what matters most is staying in tune with your own. Some people may reach their milestones early, while others bloom later. But that timing doesn't define worth. What defines you is your persistence, your character, and your ability to keep faith alive even when others seem far ahead. The truth is, comparison might make you competitive for a while, but patience will make you unstoppable for life. When you operate from patience, you develop peace. You no longer look sideways, you look forward. You trust that what's unfolding for others is proof that miracles are possible, not proof that you've been forgotten. You begin to celebrate others genuinely because you know their success doesn't diminish yours. The sky is wide enough for every star to shine. Patience helps you understand that your moment will come when you are ready for it, not when you rush for it. The more you compare, the more you suffer, but the more you trust, the more you grow. When you learn to stay patient with your own timing, you reclaim your peace, your focus, and your joy. And those are the true markers of success. Everything truly remarkable in life takes time. Growth, mastery, transformation, and success are never products of haste. They are the results of steady, consistent effort guided by patience and purpose. In a culture obsessed with instant gratification, where we expect overnight success and immediate results, we often forget that all masterpieces are built through time, dedication, and resilience. A diamond does not shine the moment it's discovered. It endures pressure, darkness, and years of transformation before revealing its brilliance. Likewise, your dreams and ambitions require a process of refinement, not a rush to completion. The best things in life are worth waiting for because they are shaped by time and tempered by patience. Mastery in any field, whether it's art, business, or personal growth, demands an investment of time that cannot be shortened without compromising quality. Think of a sculptor chiseling a block of marble. Each stroke seems insignificant at first, but every careful movement contributes to the perfection of the final form. If the sculptor rushes, the entire work risks being ruined. The same principle applies to our lives. Every decision, every challenge, every delay is shaping you into something extraordinary. But this transformation can only unfold when you respect the rhythm of time. Patience is not about standing still, it's about progressing steadily, trusting that the process itself is crafting your greatness. When we rush, we often skip the lessons that prepare us for the responsibilities success brings. Quick results may give temporary satisfaction, but they rarely build lasting foundations. True success requires endurance, emotional maturity, and wisdom, qualities that can only be developed through time. The person you become while waiting is far more important than what you achieve at the end of that wait. The world celebrates outcomes, but the process, the silent struggle, the daily discipline, the perseverance in solitude is where true strength is born. You can't rush a sunrise and you can't rush success. Both appear when the timing is right and the preparation is complete. Patience also deepens appreciation. When you wait, you learn to value effort over ease, growth over gratification. You begin to understand that the struggle you endure today is what will make tomorrow's success meaningful. People who gain things easily often lose them just as quickly because they haven't developed the strength to sustain them. But those who wait, who persist, and who build with care create something that lasts. The deeper the roots, the taller the tree can grow. Your unseen effort is the foundation that supports your visible achievements later. Time doesn't weaken your dream. It strengthens it if you use it wisely. Consider the stories of great creators and innovators throughout history. None of them achieved greatness overnight. They spent years refining their craft, learning through failure and staying committed to their vision when no one else believed in it. Their patience wasn't passive, it was purposeful. It was filled with consistent action, quiet determination, and unwavering belief. They understood that shortcuts might save time but would cost quality. The slow process of mastery gave them something far more valuable than quick recognition. It gave them excellence. And excellence is timeless. Every challenge, every delay, every obstacle is part of your training. Life uses time as a teacher. When you face moments of stagnation or uncertainty, it's not because you're stuck, it's because you're being prepared. The lessons you learn during these pauses will later help you navigate success with wisdom and humility. Sometimes, the reason your dream takes time is that you're still being shaped into the person capable of holding it. The universe will not deliver something powerful into unsteady hands. That's why patience is not just a virtue, it's protection. It ensures you receive what's meant for you at the right time, not before you're ready. The beauty of patience lies in its quiet strength. It doesn't demand attention, yet it builds everything that lasts. When you understand that every masterpiece takes time, you stop measuring your progress in days and start measuring it in growth. You begin to find peace in the process and strength in the stillness. You realize that rushing doesn't make things arrive sooner. It only robs you of the joy of becoming. The artist doesn't rush the painting, the musician doesn't rush the melody, and life doesn't rush your journey. Every delay, every detour, every challenge is part of the masterpiece being created. You. True success rarely announces its arrival with noise. It often grows quietly, nurtured by patience, discipline, and unwavering belief. In a world obsessed with visibility, where people are eager to broadcast every small win, there is something profoundly powerful about those who choose silence while they build. Silent patience doesn't seek validation, it seeks transformation. It doesn't rush for recognition because it understands that lasting success speaks for itself. The greatest achievements don't need constant explanation or justification. They reveal themselves through impact. When you cultivate the strength to work quietly, stay consistent, and trust in your timing, you create a success story that will one day speak louder than any words ever could. There's a unique grace in those who pursue their dreams without making noise. They don't need to prove anything to the world. They are driven not by applause, but by purpose. Every day, they show up. They put in the effort, and they allow results to mature naturally. Their patience becomes their strategy, and their silence becomes their power. The loudest people in the room often seek attention, but the calmest ones are usually the most focused. They understand that time rewards those who persist quietly. When you're silently patient, you're not waiting idly. You're growing, improving, and aligning yourself with the right opportunities that will eventually reveal your worth to the world. When success finally arrives, it has a way of announcing itself. The world suddenly begins to notice what you've been nurturing for years. People call it overnight success, but you know better. It was years of unseen effort, failures, late nights, and relentless consistency. Silent patience makes that success meaningful because it wasn't built on noise or show. It was built on integrity and endurance. There's something deeply satisfying about reaching your goals without ever needing to boast about them. The respect you earn from results lasts far longer than the attention you get from words. Patience gives you emotional strength. It teaches you to remain composed even when others doubt you or when progress feels slow. It helps you rise above criticism and distractions. When you are patient, you stop reacting to every challenge that comes your way. Instead, you channel that energy into improvement. You understand that people might misunderstand you or underestimate you, but that's fine because time will reveal the truth. Silent patience is not about staying quiet because you are weak. It's about staying focused because you are wise. You know that success built quietly has stronger roots than success that's built for show. The beauty of silent patience is that it builds humility along the way. When you don't rush to display your progress, you remain grounded. You appreciate the process more deeply and become grateful for every lesson learned along the journey. That humility makes your success even more powerful because it is authentic. When your achievements finally surface, people feel inspired not only by what you accomplished, but by the calm strength with which you carried yourself during the wait. The calmness of patience has a silent magnetism. It attracts trust, respect, and admiration far beyond what loud self-promotion can ever achieve. There's also a spiritual dimension to silent patience. It's an act of surrender to a higher timing. It's saying, I will give my best and I will let life handle the rest. This surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means letting go of the anxiety that comes from trying to control everything. When you operate with faith and patience, you no longer worry about how long something will take. You trust that when it's meant to happen, nothing can stop it. And when that moment comes, the results will be undeniable. Silent patience ensures that your success not only arrives, but arrives with grace and stability. When your time comes, your success will speak for itself, and it will speak loudly. The same people who doubted you will notice your growth. The same moments of silence that once felt like struggle will become symbols of strength. Silent patience creates a contrast so beautiful that when your results finally emerge, they shine even brighter against the backdrop of the quiet journey that built them. That's the essence of lasting achievement. It doesn't need noise to prove its worth. It lets its light do the talking. So keep working, keep believing, and keep waiting with calm faith. Because when success finally arrives after silent patience, it doesn't just make noise, it echoes. And as we close today, I want to leave you with this thought. When you learn to be patient in silence, your success will speak so loudly that the world will have no choice but to listen. Don't rush your destiny. Don't underestimate the power of quiet endurance, because the most beautiful things in life don't shout. They unfold gently, silently, and perfectly in their own divine time. So my friends, keep the faith, nurture the roots, and trust the process. Remember always, silent patience, unlimited gain. Thank you.